have called VR influencers grifters, naming some directly by name, and stated back in 2020 that there was not one VR influencer making any sort of impact on the VR industry as a whole. From a developer's perspective, who is currently on itch.io and Steam currently, with the lack of visibility on stores like Steam and itch.io, how can you ignore the impact VR influencers have on giving relatively the most visibility to developers not on the Oculus Store? Is this imposing views and thoughts on their intentions? Why can't we give more attention to how it is synergistic between us all?
Well, first, I think we need to kind of delineate between grifters, influencers, YouTube content creators. Like, I'm not saying, I never said that all VR YouTubers are grifters, because that's not true. I have named specific VR YouTube grifters, and maybe we'll come back to that later. But we've got, people that are like asking for money from developers to cover their content would be a grifter. Influencers generally, I would say, are the type of person that puts influencer in their Twitter bio, right? You've got these people that have like 50,000 Twitter followers and zero engagement and just hashtag garbage all day and call themselves influencers. So those people, they're not even grifters. They're just losers. I don't know what to call those people. But like, again, the YouTuber, like YouTube content creators for VR, I have no problem with for the most part, unless they are grifting. Like there are ones that have paid money for their followers, right? Like they have it. They're obviously fake numbers, like most of the numbers anyway. I'm sure they have people that have come on afterwards, but like, yeah, and then trying to charge developers, like indie developers, insane amounts of money. I've heard from some of my friends like up to 20 grand for coverage because they're the biggest VR YouTuber, right? And they're in the Guinness Book of World Records, Again, I'm not naming anyone. Anyway, so like, as far as getting eyes on your product, and needing influencers, I don't think you do need influencers. What you need to do is make something dope that's worthy of hyping up, right? Like if I do my job right, then the content creators want to show it because they're going to get clicks. It's not, it should be a symbiotic relationship, and there should be no communication between us. I don't have to say, hey, here's my thing, can you cover it? It should be them saying, oh, that looks amazing, I'm going to cover it on my channel, or like retweet it because it looks amazing. It's not, otherwise it becomes shady. It becomes a grift. If my content isn't worthy of getting clicks on a YouTube channel for a VR creator, then it's not. Like, I'm not going to pay money to shove my garbage in people's faces, right? So, yeah, I think that's it.
All right, and the debate floor is now open. Thrill, you have the floor for the first comment.
So I'll just go straight out. You've probably heard this a million times. I don't like the term influencer. I think it's I don't know. It's not the right kind of. There is influencing going on. I'm not denying that, but I don't like the term influencer, and I don't like when people use the term influencer to call themselves an influencer, right? If you have an influence, if you have influence, you have influence. That should be unsaid. You don't have to go say, oh, I'm an influencer. Content creator, on the other hand, I don't know. Maybe that's a better title. Now, in terms of games and showing off games, I totally get that. I feel bad constantly because I get dozens of emails a week, sometimes more than that, with keys right there in the email for a game that I don't have time to try. I don't have time to make content on. I can't cover every single game. And plus, every game is not worth covering. Like, let's be real. I kind of want to loop back a little bit on, you were talking about their fizzle games that are hyped. Upload covers it, I cover it, everyone talks about it, and then the game comes out, and then people see through the cracks. Which, that's the problem. People see through the cracks. A lot of these VR games, there are cracks into how these games are fundamentally handled. Whether it's not having cross-platform play, whether it's being exclusive to one platform, or the game itself being not up to par with what people expect, or developers just abandon the project. That happens too. And so there's so many factors into things. I mean, really, if I were to say something, the secret to success in the VR community is making a polished game that's multi-platform, cross-play, cross-buy, and is free to play. It hasn't happened yet. But that's the secret, just in case there's devs out there, you know. Yeah, charging for content sucks. But for certain content creators, there is a very real service to be given. Which I personally, the only time I have taken direct money for any game was, I think I took $200 for a Twitch stream to cover a game that I haven't even heard of. I've never heard of since, and I streamed it for 2 hours. That's the only money I've ever taken. I don't like taking money for games. But there is a point to be made. That's just me personally. There's a point to be made that there is a very real service if you have a good audience that trusts you and the person making the content believes in the game. If I believe in a game and the developer wants to throw money my way, then they will get a return of some point of some amount, because I don't cover games very often. So whenever I do, it's a bigger deal. I wish that more content creators did this rather than, oh well, this company offered this money, so I'm going to take it. Personally, I only charge for content if I don't want to make the content. I'll just give you like a very real example, Pinball VR, which I'm sorry if I didn't sign any papers, so I'm not breaking anything. But Pinball VR offered if I wanted to like take money to make a video on their game, very very standard content creator stuff. And I gave them a very ridiculous offer. I didn't want to make a video on Pinball VR. I gave them a ridiculous monetary offer because I was like, shit, like, money on the table. I like Star Wars. I actually bought a Han Solo costume to do for this video. Or to like wear for the video too. Like, I was in it. And then I found out that it doesn't have Valve Index support or Vive support or anything on Steam VR. And so I said, fuck that. And I left. And I left the deal. But I'm saying offers and money for a service, it's a service. At that point, if you are promoting a game and it's a paid promotion, it's a service, and I don't mind other content creators taking money for that, as long as they have the numbers to back it up, and there's a realistic expectation between the developer and the content creator. You know, charging $20,000 for a video that gets 100,000 views, that's garbage. That's terrible. A few $1,000s to send your game out to a few 100,000 people, then that might be a little different. But that's a kind of ridiculous number. Yeah, I agree.
But what if you're okay? First of all, you need to say up front that it's a paid promotion. I would say anyway. Secondly, like, what if you, like, those numbers, those engagement numbers on the video are just like a click farm, you know? Like, there are YouTubers I know for sure, they have like hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and even up to like, you know, whatever, 500,000 views on a video or something, but the numbers never match. Like, it's not, you know, like, I know that there are ways to buy followers. People do it. Like, it happens all the time. And so you run into a few problems here. Say, okay, you pay maybe whatever, $5,000 for a content creator to do a video. Then you first of all, if you have to pay, like I said, it's probably not worth it for you because like people are gonna see it and be like, oh, well, this is just crap.
Mhm.
Like, so like,
Which is why I don't like to have sponsored content.
Right.
It muddies your opinion.
Totally.
And
But
in
it's
terms of
bad for
the
everybody.
fake viewership, I've seen in the VR space, especially a few years ago before I even hopped in, which I don't necessarily think this is on the part of the content creators. There are videos out there right now from multiple content creators from years ago, mainly 2017, 2018, a little bit of early 2019, very clearly fake engagement or fake views. You can look at something and tell if there was views bought. And I'm not throwing any names, but it's out there, and I understand completely. I understand, especially from people that have been in the scene for a while and watched it happen live. I understand the feeling of it's all just fake numbers. But there are people that do, there are people that don't, and the numbers and the engagement and the comments and the likes, they speak for themselves. If you've got a video with 1 million views and it's got 20 comments, the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
I think this has been good. Blair, I'm going to give you the last statement on this one. So, Blair, you got the floor.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying is like when I get mad and say something rude on Twitter, like influencers or like whoever, even if I name somebody that I know is like grifting, it's because it's bad for everybody. It's not because I'm like I hate that person or something. It's because it's like, okay, no, this is bad for the developer who paid the money is getting fake engagement that's being bought probably with a portion of the money that they paid for the thing. It's bad for the creator because like they're saying like they're just making themselves look bad by showing off garbage and saying like trying to sell it. It's like it's not good for anybody. So it's like that makes me upset because that means it's bad for the industry as a whole, right? It's like we're selling garbage. We're making both parties look like garbage. The developer who's already like low on money is losing money. It's like it's just a terrible situation to be in.
We're gonna move on.
I'm also one last thing.
I'll give you one last thing, my man, and we gotta move on.
I'm very confident that a lot of these content creators are more victims of bad deals than anything. I think that it was the companies that made deals with these content creators early on. They're very old school marketing, and they thought that they were buying promotion for something, and instead they bought views. I do not think that these people legitimately wanted to deceive people and pump up their numbers. It doesn't do them anything. It costs them money. It doesn't make them any money. It doesn't do anything. It costs them money. Not even, it's not cheap either. It's a lot of fucking money. And so I almost guarantee that these companies that they sign with to make videos for are the ones that falsely promoted, and I think it was bad deals.
There may be a question.
There's nothing to back that up, but
there may be a question coming up soon that may get back to that, so I would definitely table that. But I do want to move on. Hit that subscribe button to stay on top of the daily clips, or catch the debates and fireside chats live on the main channel down in the video description. See you next time, Space Cowboys.